Beloved brothers and sisters, yes, you are very, very powerful. Actually, you are more powerful than the astrological influences, the Zodiac. You are more powerful than all these. When your power is not expressed, then these influences affect you. There are many things which affect the human when the human is functioning in low frequencies. When the same human is functioning in high frequency, he is less affected. And if he goes to the extent of functioning at a very high level, then he's totally freed of the influences of the Zodiac or whatever the astrological influences, the readings in your palms. It depends on what level you are functioning in. These things are designed to function in a zone. If you keep within the zone, they affect you. If you elevate yourself beyond the zone, you are not affected. Yes, it is the bare truth. I've always been giving you examples like in a river or a pond. If you have a bubble, if you drop, let's say, a stone in the water and it pushes air down, the air will form bubble. The air in the bubble doesn't belong in the water, so it wants to come out to the open space. But if the bubble is deep in the water, it is under pressure. The weight of the water is on it. And it tries to get out of it. So you see the bubble coming up from the bottom. And the more it approaches the top, the less the pressure on it, because the weight of water is more when it is underneath. So it gets its freedom when it comes to the surface of the water. No more pressure from the water. So you are like that. The human in this field of consciousness, we are functioning in low frequency all around us. And there is friction, there is weight, there is obstruction everywhere. And when we are obstructed, we call it evil. But when you are in this zone, it's normal that you will be obstructed. You will be under pressure. It belongs to the zone. And your spirit is high frequency within the low frequency. So it's normal. But then, you don't have to remain inside. It's just the bubble doesn't have to remain under the water and be the whole weight of the water to be on it. It has to seek a way to come out, to come up to the surface of the water, of the pond or river. Now, that is salvation. When it comes to the top of the water, there's no more pressure. And that condition is heavenly. Deep under the water, that is hell. On top of the water, that is heaven for the bubble. It is freed at long last. So, whenever this false identity bearing upon us and the bubble will say, oh, I am, and whatever it says, that I am under pressure, I am sad, I am angry, I am afraid. So all those things, you say it when you are under pressure, when you are under the water. But when the bubble is coming up, 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 then the language begins to change. I'm getting freed, I'm getting freed, I'm getting freed, and then it gets to the top of the water. I'm free at last. I'm in heaven. And you can be in that state right here. It's not something you put in future. You can be in the heavenly state. So, when we talk of things like, there is something we call Feng Shui. Feng Shui, when you are putting up a building and you learn about Feng Shui, it tells you whether the position will favor, will bring good forces into the house, or the direction of your building, the entrance of your building, its direction and the things you position there, the kind of flowers, the kind of trees, it will make some favor or favorable conditions for you, or the opposite, unfavorable, unfortunate circumstances. But my brother and my sister, you as a spirit, you are more powerful than all these things. So if you live in that house or compound, whilst you are in a high frequency, you are the Feng Shui yourself. You change the atmosphere. Even the unfortunate things in the circumstances around, you function beyond them. The time you were born, the predictions that go with it, you function beyond them. Your palms, readings, the language of these things, raise your spiritual frequency and you function beyond them. So my brother, my sister, it is time we get to the truth of who we are. You are part of the creative process that brought about all things. So all things should not rule you. You should rule all things. And this is true. It's unfortunate when it is the opposite, that all things control you, all things influence you, all things affect you, and you are seeking ways and means to get out of it. The highest truth is to become self-realized. Realize who you are in the long run. And all these things, they fall below you. Yes, it's the highest law that controls all the other laws. Just like when we find ourselves entangled in the low frequency, we cry for help. But the truth of the matter is that the one crying for help is a source of power. It's only that it's not aware of it. Sometimes somebody travels a long distance and it is in a place very hot and dry and is very thirsty, and is carrying a gourd in which we put water for drinking, a container. He's carrying it in his armpit, or he's carrying it in a way, he places it behind hanging. And he's carrying water all along, and he's forgotten. And he's so weak, so thirsty, that sometimes he's about to drop dead. Yet, he has water, he or she has water, but doesn't know. This is the problem of the human. I remember somebody went all the way to the farm, and he was carrying his cutlass in the armpit. And when he got to the farm, he started thinking, oh, today I forgot to come along with a cutlass. And he returned to the house, and all along the cutlass was in his armpit. And when he got home, he was shouting everywhere to the family, my cutlass, somebody picked it, and when I went to the farm all the way long distance, and I didn't have my cutlass. And people looked at him and they said, wow, is that not your cutlass in your armpit? He said, oh. And this happens. We carry what we are looking for. You are crying for help. Help is within yourself. But it's forgetfulness. You've forgotten the truth about ourselves, who we are. Yes. So let us awaken to truth, and it will set us free. Thank you, my brother and my sister.